Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Itsna. So today I will tell you guys a summary of article. But today I'm not review just one article but 10 article. So start from the first article. The title is Students' Thoughts on Vocabulary Mastery Using English Songs. And the content is the main objective of this research is to see how EFL students view the habit of listening to music in relation to their vocabulary skills. To do this, the researchers conducted a descriptive qualitative study with 30 English education students. They found that all participants loved English songs, and the data showed that looking up song lyrics helps them memorize new unfamiliar words and learn how to pronounce them correctly. And moving on to the benefits, the study highlights that music creates a fun and relaxing environment, which naturally boosts students' motivation and helps them practice autonomous learning. It doesn't just expand vocabulary, but it also improves their listening and speaking skills by exposing them to native accents. And in the terms of strengths, what makes this article stand out is its perspective. While most previous studies use experimental methods to test progress, this paper focused entirely on the students' actual opinions and thoughts. Plus, it uses both questionnaires and interviews, making the findings more deep and reliable. And however, there are few weaknesses. The sample size is quite small and 30 students from one major at one university, so we cannot assume every EFL student feels the same way. Also, because it is a qualitative study, based on thoughts and perceptions, it doesn't actually measure if the students' vocabulary grades objectively approve. So we move to the second article. The title is Film Therapy, a Stress Relief and Its Emotional Effects. Let's look at the content first. The main goal of this study is to analyze how film therapy works as a stress relief mechanism for audiences in Malaysia, especially following the mental health challenges brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. The researchers conduct qualitative in-depth interviews with 5 subject matter experts from the film industry, including directors and script writers. And in the terms of benefits, the study highlights that films act as a temporary escape from daily pressures like work or online learning overload. Specifically, light-hearted genres like comedy stimulate the release of endorphins, which actively lower stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Furthermore, the study notes that film therapy is actually being used by medical practitioners as a psychological tool to help patients process their emotion through fictional characters. For the strength, this research is highly valuable because this specific topic is rarely explored in Malaysia, where most film studies usually just focus on narrative style rather than psychological impacts. And additionally, interviewing top-tier industry experts gives us highly credible insights into how visual and audio elements are designed to trigger human emotion. However, we must consider the weaknesses. First, the sample size is extremely small with only 5 expert information. And the second, because the study only interviews the creators and experts, it lacks direct data from the actual audience or patients who are suffering from stress. Lastly, due to geographical distance, all interviews had to be done online via Google Meet, which might limit the depth of organic interaction. And the third, mental disorders among college students in the WHO World Mental Health Surveys. The content is the study explores how these disorders affect college entry, dropout rates, and treatment-seeking behavior. And the benefits provides global evidence about students' mental health issues, helps universities understand factors related to students' attrition. And the strength is this article used a large international sample. And the weaknesses is cannot establish causal relationship between the experts. So this article focused on mental disorders among college students across 21 countries. The researchers found that around 1 in 5 students experienced a mental disorder within the past year, and most of these disorders start before college. The study also showed that mental health problems were linked to a higher risk of dropping out, while only a small percentage of students receive adequate treatment. Overall, the article emphasizes the importance of providing mental health support early in students' academic journey. Next, we move to the effect of sleep quality on academic performance is mediated by internet use time. The content is the researchers found that better sleep quality was associated with higher academic achievement. This article explores how sleep quality affects academic performance in adolescents and whether internet use plays a role in this relationship. The study involved 269 adolescents aged in 14 years in Spain. The results show that students with better sleep quality achieved higher academic grades, while sleep duration itself was not significantly related to academic performance. The researchers also found that internet use particularly mediated this relationship, meaning that excessive internet use may contribute to poorer sleep quality and lower academic achievement. Overall, the study suggests that reducing internet use could help improve sleep quality and support better academic outcomes. Next, the study of academic burnout in students with high and low levels of self-efficacy. The study investigates the relationship between self-efficacy and academic burnout among university students. A total of 120 students completely questionnaires measuring self-efficacy and academic burnout. The results showed a significant negative relationship between self-efficacy and all dimensions of academic burnout. Students with higher self-efficacy experience lower levels of academic exhaustion, academic disinterest, and academic inefficiency. This finding suggests that students who believe in their abilities are more likely to cope effectively with academic challenges and are less likely to experience burnout. Overall, the study emphasized the role of self-efficacy in promoting students' academic success and psychological well-being. And next, there is efficient, helpful, or distracting, a literature review of media multitasking in relation to academic performance. This article is a literature review that examines the relationship between media multitasking and academic performance. The authors analyzed 38 previous studies and found that multitasking often has negative effects on learning. It can reduce attention, working memory, reading comprehensive, note-taking quality, and test performance. The review also highlights that many students overestimate their ability to multitask effectively. Overall, the article concludes that improving self-regulation and reducing unnecessary multitasking can help students achieve better academic outcomes. The next is anxiety and personality as indicators of academic performance in university foreign language classrooms. This article investigates the relationship between anxiety, personality traits, and academic performance in foreign language learning. The researchers collected data from 394 university students in Spain using TOEIC scores and several psychological assessment tools. The results showed that foreign language anxiety was the strongest negative predictor of academic performance. Students with higher anxiety levels tend to obtain lower language test scores. Neuroticism and test anxiety also had negative effects, while extraversion showed a positive relationship with achievement. The study suggests that creating a supportive classroom environment and reducing students' anxiety can improve language learning outcomes. The next is investigating the impact of gamification and students' motivation, engagement, and performance. This article examines how gamification influences student motivation, engagement, and academic performance. The researchers compared students who used the Classcraft gamified platform with students who learn through traditional classroom instruction. The results showed that gamification increased both intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, reduced students' demotivation, and encouraged the use of effective learning strategies. This improvement contributed to better academic performance. Therefore, the study suggests that gamification can be an effective educational tool, and particularly in mathematics learning. Next, there is the influence of academic stress on the subjective well-being of final semester students with thesis. This study investigated the influence of academic stress on the subjective well-being of final semester students who were working on their thesis. The researchers surveyed 386 students aged 20 to 22 years old using standardized psychological questionnaires. The results showed a significant negative relationship between academic stress and subjective well-being. This means that students who experience higher levels of happiness and life satisfaction. The study also found that academic stress explained 80% of the variation in subjective well-being, while the remaining 81% was influenced by other factors. Overall, the research highlights the importance of stress management and support system for students complete their thesis. Unless we have prevalence of academic procrastination and reasons for academic procrastination in university students. This study investigated the prevalence of academic procrastination among university students and the reason behind it. The researchers found that procrastination was common across all academic levels, including MSc, MPhil, and PhD students. The strongest factor contributing to procrastination were task aversiveness, difficulty in decision-making, with task-taking behavior. The study also found that social science students tend to procrastinate more than natural science students. Overall, the findings suggest that reducing task aversiveness and improving time management and decision-making skills may help decrease academic procrastination. I think that's all from me, and I'm sorry if there are many mistakes in this video. Thank you for listening to my video, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.